From Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. The holidays began in late October and steadily gathered momentum until the Big Bang, a 10-hour marathon on Christmas Day with 4 meals and a packed house.
Welcome back to the Reading Room Ruffians, your favorite library podcast. Today, we're discussing Letters from Father Christmas by J.R.R. Tolkien and also Resting Scrooge Face by Megan Quinn. This is Mallory, and today I am Buddy the Elf, and only missing my very own Santa baby BFF Ariel. Our Supreme Overlord Carla is joining me, and she's ready to talk Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We are recording from our library in Jackson County, West Virginia. Zach, today's grump, is back and recording with us from Seattle, Washington.
Bah humbug.
Before we get to it, you can find our Facebook group by searching Reading Room Ruffians Podcast, which is linked to our library's Facebook page at facebook.com/Jackson County Library WV. You should give us a follow on TikTok and Instagram at WVJCO Library and give our podcast Goodreads page a look, which we have linked in our episode descriptions along with our personal Goodreads pages. Okay, so I want to start with Letters from Father Christmas. This was such a cute book. Ariel suggested it to me because I wanted to read something Christmassy because it's December 1st for you guys, which is very out of the norm for me because I am very bah humbug as well until December 1st. So I figured this one would be pretty good for you guys to get us started. So I got into it. I really wasn't sure what to expect. And when I figured it out, it was letters that J.R.R. Tolkien had written to his children from Santa as they grew up. Oh my gosh, it just was overwhelmingly adorable. The stories he came up with and how he wrote them and decorated them and the drawings that came with them, they were so cute. I loved them.
Yeah, for those of you who might not have actually read the book, or if you plan on reading the book after listening to this, make sure you pick up a physical copy.
Yes.
Because the audiobook is fine, but you don't get to see all the cool illustrations or the handwriting or anything like that. And I would say it's pretty necessary to actually enjoying it.
Yeah. I think it adds that extra element of just like the magic that he made for his kids. That's such a cool idea. And if I had kids, I would 1000% do something like that. I just absolutely love that.
It was a great idea. Absolutely great idea.
Yeah. And the stories he got into were so funny. Okay, so what were you guys' thoughts on this one?
I really liked it. It was not what I expected at all. I don't know what I was thinking. But, and it started out so short, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to listen. Because I listened to it.
Yeah.
I thought it only lasted 30 seconds. But the more he wrote, the more in depth I got. And I did not realize that the North Pole was such a violent place. And invaded by gnomes on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Wasn't it goblins?
Maybe it was goblins. It was goblins. Sorry, the gnomes were the good guys. Yeah, they were the good guys.
Yeah, no, I had no idea what this was going to be either. And I didn't know that North Pole was so incredibly violent as well, where they have tons of goblin invasions and battles and the polar bears apparently killing them all. It's just wild.
The polar bear was great.
I like the polar bear a lot.
I loved North Polar Bear. Old North Polar Bear.
I kind of miss not seeing the illustrations because, like I said, I just listened to it. Because he talked about writing with his big paw and it was a thick pen. And
Yeah, the different handwritings, they do change whenever it's the different characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't actually know how he wrote like this for
I
Santa with his trembling.
Yeah.
It's wild.
He must have taken a long time to do these because, not only, he colored a lot of them as well. And then there were little doodles sometimes. And then Bear would cut in sometimes. And the pictures that he usually sent with were very in depth. And sometimes it was 3 or 4 little pictures on one piece of paper. And it was so cool to see. And he really must have spent a good chunk of time thinking these out. And then I guess the kids also sent letters to Santa. So he would reply, and it was kind of cool to see them have a little bit of a conversation. But mostly he was just keeping up on what was going on over in the North Pole.
I thought it was neat how they grew up too, and Father Christmas did not forget them, even though
they didn't put their stockings out. Yeah. Ugh. And then whenever they got to the couple during the war. Oh my gosh. That just absolutely ripped my heart out when Santa was like, there are so many kids that aren't in their homes right now. And, there are so many kids that don't have this, that, and the other. And I can't really get a whole lot of stuff in to, make things work for people either. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
Oh, and that they took clothes and food sometimes.
Yeah. Oh man, it just absolutely, it ripped my heart out. Because it was so thoughtful to not only just be like, I know that you're going through a time too, but so is everybody else. And so this is why it might be a little bit different. I thought that was very mindful of like watching a kid go through something like that, because kids don't really understand that stuff and you don't really want them to, but you also kind of want them to be sympathetic of others. Like, yeah, it sucks right now for us, but somebody else might have it worse as well. I thought that was nice.
I liked too that the accidents that happened.
Oh yeah,
was like, couldn't find that toy, so we're going to explain why you're not getting it.
Yeah. Oh man, Polar Bear and his nephews were just so wild. I loved that.
The bath was my favorite. Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, and I don't know, probably the fireworks for me.
That was a good
that one was really funny.
Yeah, Bear was pretty fun. I'm looking back through in all the illustrations of him, like just falling downstairs covered in toys or making huge messes. It's great. And I don't know, I like his art style a lot. It's very pretty.
Yeah, it was very fun. And I think probably one of my favorite parts of that is how Polar Bear usually made fun of how Santa drew him, because he kind of did look more a little bit like a dog instead of a polar bear.
Yeah, he just looked like he looked more skinny. Like a white person in a dog suit.
Yeah.
He's like a person in a white dog suit. That's what he looked like most of the time.
That's pretty much exactly it, yeah. It was so funny. And once they called it out, I was like, oh, that's a really cute drawing. And then I saw Santa called out for that and was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to not see it now.
Yeah. Not what I look like at all. That's how he talks too. It's very fun. The Great Polar Bear.
Yes.
I heard it totally different. I don't know why. I heard it more like a big gruff voice, but just kind of I don't know. Not really. But I think actually he might. Yeah, I think you're right, Zach. I think he would sound like that.
That's pretty much
that's what he sounds in the audiobook.
On the audio,
I should have listened to it too, but I read it mostly while we were traveling here and there and everywhere else between family visits. So it was kind of mostly in the back of a car. So
I don't know. I think it would have been fun to listen to while you're reading it, honestly, so you can look at the pictures and do that sort of stuff. Because, so they got the text here in the book. They have the text on one side and then the actual letter on the other side. It is kind of hard to read sometimes. So.
Yeah.
It would have been nice hearing the voices and seeing the pictures at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, his art, some of it you can really tell that it's let me see if I can find the specific one. There was a couple in here that I really thought looked like Tolkien art. Yeah, this one. From 1931 to 32. It's a picture of Polar Bear, and underneath it's got a sunrise with some mountains and writing and stuff like that. It looks like similar to Dwarven writing, and also it's got just like that sort of classic Tolkien mountain look that's on all of his Hobbit books. Very similar. He's got a very distinctive type of way of doing some things.
See, and I wondered if his art kind of looked similar to his or not, because I've seen some of his art, but I think I have enough of a really solid knowing to have been able to tell if it was or not. And so then I wondered, do his kids realize that, or I don't know.
I can't remember when The Hobbit came out, but I think it was sometime during the writing of all these letters.
Yeah.
Because he wrote them for his kids as well.
That's fair. Yeah, that's very fair. Yeah, I don't know how old he was whenever he wrote any of those.
I like, too, with his little girl, that she had bears and the polar bear. I was always asking about the bears. And
oh, that's right. Yes. That was very cute.
That was super cute.
But why didn't she have a polar bear?
I know. And Polar Bear said that her bear was definitely a polar bear, even though he wasn't.
Even though he wasn't a white bear, he was still a polar bear. Yeah,
still a polar bear. It was so
always
sweet.
Checking up on him every single time. Yeah, making sure how he's doing, and would write little asides. P.S. This is for Did the bear have a name? It was just
Silly
the bear.
Billy.
Yeah, Silly Billy.
I don't think he called him Silly Billy, though.
I think he just called him Billy.
He might, or Billy Bear or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. I returned mine early from Libby because people were waiting on it. And so now I don't have any of my bookmarks saved. I'm kicking myself now.
I actually have the book here with me. I didn't read this copy. I just looked through it after I was done.
Yeah.
Because I was not able to see any of the pictures the first time. But looking back through it, it's just so fun.
We need to get this book. I need to try to order this one.
Yeah. I think I also want to buy myself a copy of it because it's just so cute. And I feel like it would be a nice Christmas tradition for any, kids of any age, really. I mean, I love this now. I definitely would have loved it whenever I was younger. And we have some Christmas traditions in our family. I think that would be really fun to start. And definitely, I think if you have kids who are of a decent Christmas age, this would be so fun to just start maybe I don't know, after Thanksgiving, and you can get probably to the end of the book by I don't know, maybe a little bit before Christmas. Or you could start at the first day of December and go from there. I don't know. Either way, super cute. I highly recommend it, especially for parents.
Yeah, it was really good. It's a really good idea, too.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, moms and dads out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's 100 letters in this thing. I think if you read a few a night.
Yeah.
Something like 100 letters. Yeah, no, it's a cute little book. It's very, very good. I enjoyed every second of it. And it's a very fast little read if you just want to sit down and read it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really sad that Ariel isn't here to talk about it today.
Yeah, because she really liked it.
Yeah, she was the one that was like, oh my gosh, read this. And so I decided to, and I knew this one was kind of short, so I went ahead and picked another little short, Christmas novella, which I guess we can move into. Resting Scrooge Face. I found it after Christmas last year in my Kindle, and it sounded hilarious, so I just bookmarked it, because obviously I wasn't going to read it until Christmas this year. So yeah, it was, I think, 80 pages, Zach?
Well, Resting Scrooge Face?
Yeah.
It was very short.
Very short. And it is just kind of I don't know. Yeah. You said Hallmark movie and you're spot on. It was hilarious. I loved it. And I don't feel like it was too cheesy though. I don't know. Hallmark
I wouldn't say
movies,
it was overly cheesy. Hallmark movies are the absolute worst for that
cheesy.
sort of thing.
I love them.
But it had that kind of feel. And so, it was the cute little things. And obviously, somebody moves back home and there's conflict and a misunderstanding and all that stuff. So it was really good. It was just that really quick kind of read. And it was hilarious. I loved her grandmother.
Yeah. And the mailman.
Yes. Oh my gosh. They were so funny. And then, yeah. So I think I bookmarked a couple of spots of grandma talking. And then I loved their names. Resting Scrooge Face was the name of the male character. And he hates Christmas because I guess he's kind of just mad that he broke things off with his ex-girlfriend, who is the main character, the main female character. So he's just kind of a grump around Christmas, and he has been since they broke up.
I don't know. I thought maybe it was more this year because she had came back.
Yeah. But I think I don't know. They kind of had it established that he was definitely a Grinch, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was just always that kind of I should be with her. Or if it was just extra, maybe it was extra because she moved back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one, and so he wrote a letter on how much he hated Christmas. And he just was basically writing into the void. And he threw it away, and the mailman saw him throw it away and was like, I am going to be nosy, as one does. And he essentially sends it to the main female character. And it's basically an anonymous note. So it's from Resting Scrooge Face. And she's like, you know what? Yeah, I hate Christmas too. So I'm going to write back to whoever this is. And she signs off as ho ho no. I just thought that was so funny because I didn't realize that she would also be writing back whenever I first got this, I guess. And yeah, just absolutely, that killed me. Ho ho no and Resting Scrooge Face. I loved it.
So I've got a summary here real quick. Just going to give the basic premise of why everything is the way it is. Okay, so it says, after a bad breakup, Nola wants nothing to do with Christmas, especially in her quaint hometown of Bright Harbor, Maine. Infuriatingly charming and cheery, Nola's surroundings only worsen her sour mood. To make matters worse, Caleb, the boy who broke her heart years ago, is all grown up and still living in town. While doing her best to avoid him, Nola bumps into the local mailman who gives her a mysterious letter, like you just said. And when she finds that the writer is a fellow Scrooge, she can't help but feel her spirit lifting. Nola writes back to her new pen pal, who unbeknownst to Nola is none other than Caleb. When Caleb gets a response hand-delivered by the mailman, he's intrigued by the mystery sender. A friendly correspondence develops and quickly turns flirtatious. Although Nola and Caleb claim they can't stand each other, they can't deny the simmering attraction that brought them together in the first place. Can these nameless pen pals write their own love story, or will they be too caught up with the ghosts of their Christmas pasts to find a future together? So obviously they found a future together because this is a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, the summary was almost as long as the whole story.
Pretty much.
That was the whole book right there. I just read the whole thing.
But it was really good. I really liked it.
It was super cute.
And they didn't know
yeah.
who was writing the letters at first. So
Yeah. And
No, they didn't until the very end for the most part.
Yeah. I love that he figured it out, obviously.
I think it was on purpose.
Yeah, well, I don't think that he meant to find out, but like, what's his face? She was there and he had dropped the paint can, and then she handed the mailman the letter, and he was like, and that's why he dropped the paint can. So
I
like,
thought it was, no, he dropped the paint can because wasn't it with the paint can opener or something like that?
well, I mean, yeah, but he watched her give the mailman that letter that was in the gold stuff.
I don't remember it happening then. So, okay.
And so he was like, oh my gosh, and dropped the paint, which is perfect, like fantastic rom-com moment. I was like, this is great.
I'll tell you what, it felt like it took him not enough time to clean up that paint.
Yeah.
No.
You ever spill paint? It takes years to get rid of, I swear. It's the worst.
I wonder if he has like a shop vac. He just vacuumed it.
Maybe.
It's just, oof.
He had special stuff
rough.
in that hardware store.
Probably does. But yeah, that was really funny. And so like he tried to keep it going, but also like, yeah, I feel like he wanted to meet just to like get it over with me. Like, we're doing this. And it was super cute because she obviously really wanted it to be him too, but she didn't want to admit it. Definitely cute.
And she was a little afraid she would have to choose.
Yeah.
Do you know what the time frame of the book was? Like how long it took?
You know, I wonder if, I feel like it was maybe just a week.
That's what I was thinking. I'd give it 7 days.
They were running that poor mailman to death. I think there was like, I swear, 30, 40 letters that they sent back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It was a ton.
It was a lot, but maybe there's just like 2.
I think there was only like 3 or 4 apiece.
No, there's tons.
I don't think so.
Tons and tons. Hundreds
There's
of
500
letters.
pages worth. All in 80
It's just all
pages.
letters.
All in 80 pages. I don't think
It
there
is
was
80 pages. That's it. It's only 80 pages.
I don't
I feel
think
like
it
they
was something.
skipped over a few of them, but maybe I just missed that.
I literally just listened to it yesterday. So I don't think there was that
And
many.
It felt like there was a bunch.
It did feel like there was a bunch, but I think that is why you're able to get away with this book being so short, because they put a lot, like there's a lot into it, but it's so simple and short and sweet and to the point. Like you don't have to go through a whole book of like, because there's all of that good tension, there's all of the lead up, and you know it's going to be a happy ending. So it's just like,
So you don't have to stress.
yeah, and it's a really nice, cute, short little thank you. I needed something that was like lifting me up here. Good to go. Even though it was Christmas.
It was fun.
It was
Although
fun.
I was
It was
kind of,
fun.
I was surprised that he didn't propose to her
Yeah.
because of the way it started with the grandma saying, well, you said I'd get proposed to on
Yeah.
Christmas Eve. So I
Oh,
figured
yeah,
that's
I
what
totally forgot that.
I figured that's what was going to happen, but
I didn't think she explicitly said proposed. I thought it was something like she would
Oh,
meet
you're going to
the
meet
person.
your soulmate or something like that.
Yeah.
That's right.
It wasn't proposed. It was like meet your soulmate or something like that, wasn't it?
Well, maybe she
Maybe I'm
Oh,
was.
misremembering.
but
she had-
no, her grandma said that that her ex-boyfriend was going to propose to her.
No, she didn't. No, she's like, no, I didn't say ex-boyfriend. I
That's
said
right.
it was your whoever,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. That's
But-
right. Yeah,
'Cause
she
that's
was
a-
expecting to be proposed to.
Right.
Yeah, but she wasn't. She got broken up with and stuff. Yeah. That's what it was. Yep.
Yes.
That's what prompted the move back home.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love it.
It was a cute little book, though. I liked it.
Yeah, I really did too. And I feel like she probably writes a lot of really cute books like that, so I might be checking them out. I might be in a rom-com phase
I love.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good. Nora
The
Roberts
cute
will be
little,
great for
like,
our
the
next
cute
deep
little,
dive.
like, fun ones make me laugh. And I feel like if I laugh more than there is like romance in it, I'm perfect, which is why I really loved the House Witch series so much. I can't stop talking about those.
I like that you don't have to you worry about like it ending poorly because, I mean, there was a time when books usually ended well.
Yeah.
But then they got to killing off the main characters. It's like,
Yeah.
now you never know.
Yep. And actually, that's like a real big thing now in romances. They like to tell you like what kind of romance you're reading. And if you see HAE, that's a happily ever after. And like a lot of books, whenever you're reading, the author will tell you in the beginning of the book if it's a happily ever after or whatnot, which is, I feel, pretty cool. But it's also like, I guess it's kind of weird that they've really just had to kind of just pick their lanes and explain it right at the beginning, or a lot of people won't read them, which yeah I don't mind that really, because I don't really get into a lot of this stuff, but the rom-coms and the happily ever afters, I'm in.
I don't want to invest that much time into reading something to only have your favorite person die.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a fantasy. Let them live.
Yeah.
There's too much of that stuff in real life.
Yeah. Agreed.
So it looks like she writes a bunch of books like this, or at least they seem very rom-com-y. I mean, this one's a not so meet cute. A not so meet cute. What even does that mean?
Meet cute is like whenever you have two main characters and they meet on like some weird happenstance, and then they are drawn to each other, or they fall in love. And you know why I know this? The Holiday. It's my favorite Christmas movie.
Is that a meet cute? Is that like a term they use?
Yeah, meet cute is like a legit movie term. And she meets a producer. They swap houses during Christmas, like from Christmas to New Year's, because both of them are like in the middle of some massive life changes. And they're like, I don't want to be in this country right now. So they swap houses. And the girl from England, who is Kate Winslet, goes to LA to live in this movie producer's house for like a month. And she ends up meeting this cute little old man who is like a movie, like old school Hollywood movie star. And she kind of just meets him, starts hanging out with him, and he teaches her all about like movies and how it was back in the golden years. And so, yeah, that's one of the things that he talks about is a meet cute. And it's basically, they just kind of meet in a really like usually like an accident, or they bump into each other, or somebody's hat flies away and then the person is there to save it and bring it back. And that's considered a meat cute.
Interesting.
I never knew
she
that.
does a bunch of all romancy. I've never heard of this term before either.
Yeah, I really hadn't heard of it until that movie. And that's one of my favorites because it's not just Christmas. Like it covers the whole thing. So yeah, I like it. But yeah, it's a fun thing. And the more you read romances, like especially the happy ones, like the rom-coms, you see that. And it's super fun to pick up on. You're like, oh no, this is where they're going to bump into each other.
Yeah, I mean, all these things have pretty intense tropes, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why when we say Hallmark movie, it's because it has all the tropes of a Hallmark movie in general. But yeah, this person's got like 30 books. It looks like they're all romancy type things. Yeah. I don't see one that's not.
Yeah, this one in Kindle Unlimited is Runaway Groomsmen. I love that.
Most of them are series, though, it looks like.
Probably,
so if you want more of the same one.
Usually series like this, they start out with like one couple and then they go to like another couple that's in the book. And so like you can kind of read them all by themselves. But I think they all kind of know each other. So they show up more in the books, but you don't have to always know them.
Oh, they have the whole novel universe that they're going into, and there's crossovers.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what a lot of romances are. It's like the one person will find their person, and then the sister will, or the brother, or the cousin, or the best friend.
Yeah,
it's somebody else that you know immediately out of that first book.
Yeah, I've definitely picked that up.
Is that how all of the Nora Roberts books go?
That's the series. Yeah, they're like little trilogies. But you want, after the first one, you were like, oh, I want to see what happens to like Sarah or whoever. Yeah. It's like,
I really do get invested like that because especially these rom-coms, they're so much fun, like all of the different characters. And I felt like that with, let me see, the Dangerous Damsels. like the lady scoundrels and like all those were really fun because I loved every single character in that book. And once like I met one and I found out the next book was about that one, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
It's like, they're so much fun.
And sometimes you'll see like little snippets of previews. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
the next book's going to be about these two that
Yeah.
are fighting at the moment. But
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's going to
Love it.
work its
Do you
way
know
out.
because they are fighting? It's like, oh, they're
Sometimes-
fighting. There's strife here. We're going to have another book with these people.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Sometimes it's fighting. Sometimes it's
They just
other
like,
things, you
yeah.
know.
Sometimes they just meet in passing
Yep.
and they lock eyes and you just know.
You do know.
Oh my God.
I was being a little bit
Clearly
dramatic
this
there,
is not
but
my
like,
genre.
that's
Oh,
pretty
you'll
real.
love them. You'll love them. You'll want to go to Ireland and go to that pub.
To go Ireland to go to that pub.
Yep. You'll want to.
I'm
Actually, when Nora writes about places, she writes about real places.
I love
She
that.
did one down at the Outer Banks,
Mhm.
and you could drive by the house she was talking about.
That's really fun.
Wait, is that the one you pointed out the other day? I mean, last time we were there? Is it that house or is it a different house entirely?
It's been a few years ago. It was down closer to Hatters.
Oh, okay. So it's not the one that... I just remember there being a very distinctive house there last time we went. Huh, interesting. Well, anyway, I guess, long story short, it's a cute little book. If you want to read some Christmassy, romancy stuff, you can read it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Or go watch a Hallmark movie. Actually, don't do that, though.
Don't
'cause
do
those
that
are
yet. Don't do that.
Pretty bad. They're pretty bad.
Don't let Gigi hear you say that.
That is probably all she watches.
Right now it is. That's what she's on.
Oh my gosh. I liked it better when she was on the K-dramas.
That was a
Those were at
long
least
one.
interesting.
She was on
She was on
that for
K-dramas
like
for a while.
a good year.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's
Oh.
great.
They're fun, though. They're ridiculous, but they're fun. So just another thing for Letters of Father Christmas.
Yeah.
I was looking at the Wikipedia page. So obviously written and illustrated by J.R.R. Tolkien between 1920 and 1943. So 23 years he was doing this. They were released posthumously in 76, edited by Bailey Tolkien, who's the second wife of his youngest son, Christopher. So Christopher, obviously one of the people in the book.
Yeah.
Stories are told in the format of letters. And here, this is the interesting part that I wanted to bring up. The 1939 letter has Father Christmas making reference to the Second World War, like we said.
Yeah.
And some of the later letters feature Father Christmas's battles against the goblins, which were subsequently interpreted as being a reflection of Tolkien's views on the German menace. So that's the reason why there's goblins invading all the time. It's because of the Nazis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
I
That
kind
makes
of,
a lot more sense now.
Yeah. I kind of figured that was like the parallel. So he wanted to say like, everything is burning around you, but it's also burning around me. So I guess, yeah, maybe just like a little sympathy, empathy thing to kind of make them feel a little bit better. But yeah, actually knowing that's pretty cool. The confirmation.
So those were definitely personal letters. I mean, it wasn't like a story. They were real letters to his real kid,
Yeah.
Yes.
which is cool.
Real letters to his real kids. See here. It also says here that each letter was delivered in an envelope, including North Pole stamps and postage marks as designed by Tolkien. So he designed the stamps and everything, too.
He
went-
thought
And
into
postage
it. Yeah.
marks. He went hardo on this.
I
Above and
love
beyond.
that. Yeah. I really love that.
I thought my
Yeah, I'm
leprechaun
looking at
thing
them
was
now, and they're just like,
I
oh,
thought
that was something I wanted to bring up. Yeah.
the leprechaun thing.
The leprechaun thing. Yeah, when we were growing up, you guys had us we got letters every year from the leprechaun who lived in our room, and he would pay us rent by giving us shoes and candy every
Oh,
year.
I
It
love
was usually the gold coins. It was very cute.
Yeah.
And we would get, his name was Seamus, and we would get letters from him every year with updates to his life. So at first I think it was just him, and then he got married eventually, and I can't remember his wife's name. It started with an M, I think.
I was
Mary,
thinking
maybe?
it was
I
either
don't
that or
remember.
Sarah. I think the kids maybe. No, I don't know what it was. I can't remember.
But
See,
yeah,
one
so-
year
so
I
he
actually
got married
forgot
at
the
one point.
names of the kids.
Oh no.
I did.
But yeah, he had kids eventually. There was like a whole plot line happening. It
I
was pretty
love
fun.
that. That is so much
I was
fun.
convinced, though. I was convinced when I was a kid that they were actually real and living
How does
there.
it feel knowing you had a really parallel idea to
Tolkien.
Tolkien? It's like,
I feel
that
kind of
is
good
so
now.
much
I feel
fun.
kind of good.
I love that.
Some of the greatest authors,
Although I
Carla
didn't
Long
love
and
that.
Tolkien.
That's hilarious.
But you didn't go as hard as him. No
No, I didn't.
illustrations
There was-
and no postage marks and all this stuff.
But it was fancy writing.
It was fancy writing. It was
Yeah.
very good writing.
I mean, I feel like it
And
wouldn't need
much
to be
better writing than
postmarked.
his.
Yeah. I feel like it wouldn't need to be postmarked if he lived there, and that's how he pays rent.
Yeah, he
so
did.
That's
He could have
fair.
done family
Like, that's a
portraits.
fair.
The rooms were so dirty. It was like it's like they had plenty of places to hide.
Yeah, it was pretty bad when we were kids. I
Well,
blame my Ariel for
it was
everything.
Ariel. I'm going to call her out right now. She's not here to defend herself.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was her
goodness.
the whole time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I feel like this is a pretty short episode, but both of those books were really short.
They were.
And so, like, without ruining absolutely everything, these books were really, really fun. And like I said, I think we're going to be ordering or trying to order a physical copy of Letters from Father Christmas. And I don't know if we'd be able to get a copy in Libby for the ebook, because I know it's just an ebook or an audiobook.
If I can get it in Libby, it will be almost immediate.
Yeah.
The other one, I hope I could get it before Christmas.
Yeah. And so if we don't get it in time for Christmas, you can also go to Kindle Unlimited and read that one with a subscription to Kindle Unlimited, which I think right now they probably have one running. You can get like a month free, and you don't have to pay anything for the Kindle Unlimited books because you have your subscription. So that's just a little how-to
Resting
on that.
Scrooge Face is in there, not
Right.
Letters from Father Christmas. Okay.
Right. Yeah. No, Letters from Father Christmas, I know is in Libby. I read it, and I think we have it in West Virginia Reads because there's like 5 or 6, and I have 5 or 6 library cards. So, so it's definitely in there for the ebook. And the ebook was nice because you had all the pictures, and so you could see like the writing and everything. But whenever it was hard for me to read, it just then had like transcribed the actual book, like what the letter said in text, which was nice. I don't know if the physical book does that, does it? I assume
I don't know.
The physical book has it. Yeah, it has
Yeah.
it. And well, it depends on which edition you get. I think the first edition came out, it did not have that stuff. But
Okay.
in all the subsequent ones, it's got the pictures, it's got the letter, and then it's got the actual writing in like just normal printed text as well
Yeah.
beside it, so you can read it better. Because I was looking through, and some of the letters are very difficult to read if you just
Yeah.
try to read his handwriting. It's
Yeah.
pretty bad. I mean, I think that's the whole point. He's very cold and old up there in the
Yes.
in the North Pole. I think they said Santa was 1925 years
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
at one point, so he's pretty old.
Yeah, it was very fun, and I highly recommend both of them. I loved this. This was fun, even if it is before December for me.
It was fun. I
Yeah.
enjoyed them.
It was worth it.
Are you guys reading any other Christmassy type books?
I don't think that I am. I might pick a couple up in Kindle just like for something quick to do. Because, I mean, honestly, this has been like if you are at the end of your Goodreads challenge, your book reading challenge, a little Christmas novellas, there are plenty of them. Because I think even in that series that I started with the fireman and what's her face, that one, she has a Christmas one that's like a little short novella. So I might pick that one up. But yeah, I think Kindle Unlimited has all kinds of little short Christmas novellas. And they're just kind of like a reading challenge buster. I'm already way past mine, so I don't really need to worry about
Yeah,
it.
I passed mine already as well. I just got to
In fact,
53
I've passed
with,
mine
I don't remember which
twice.
book I picked. Oh, no, I think my book that I read and I got the 52nd one for was Resting Scrooge Face,
Yeah.
which was good, but it was just too schmaltzy for me personally. And then I read The Archive Undying right afterwards, and that was just so hard.
That one
So,
was rough.
Good book though.
I wish she would make it, or well, I'm not sure who, I think it is.
It's
Anyway,
a woman.
yeah.
It's a woman.
Anyway, I wish they would make that a graphic novel. I think that deserves graphics with it to understand better what's going on.
Oh yeah, you need pictures. A really good artist would help
Yeah.
a lot with that book. But also there's just the multiple perspectives thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, not going to get into that book too much.
Yeah.
This is a good book. You guys should check it out. Very difficult to read though.
Actually, I think we talked about it with our last book chat. Oh, wait. No, that's next week. We've recorded that one already.
All right, next week, yeah, because The magic of podcasts.
Yes.
So, just one more thing, just before we hop off here, since it is Christmas and I want to pad this out a little bit more. What is which guys' favorite Christmas movies?
So mine, I said, was definitely The Holiday is my favorite, but I also really love, and I watch it every year, and I'm not sorry about it, Die Hard.
Oh, Die Hard, yes, because that's a Christmas
never
There's
came
my
to
two
mind.
personalities.
Never would have guessed that.
Lots of people say it's a Christmas movie.
It
I
is.
don't know
It
if I
happens at
100% buy it.
Christmas.
But
It happens during Christmas.
Actually, I
Mom,
think
what
like
about
the
you?
first
I
3
know.
do.
I think they do. I think I like the old cartoons.
Yeah.
I really like the old cartoons too, like the old claim or stop motion ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Frost
See-
Miser and Snow Miser and Heat Miser and then you
Yeah.
got like Jack Frost and all that good stuff.
I never liked Jack Frost very well. But
The Year Without a Christmas, so the Year Without a Santa Claus. That's what it was.
I'm thinking
was
Rudolph and Frosty and
Yeah, Rudolph and Frosty are fine.
There's not a whole lot of like older Christmas movies that I don't love. Like
Oh, true.
we watch A Christmas Story every like Christmas morning. My older brother and I used to wake up because I would wake up at like 3:00 in the morning, like, has Santa been here? And I would go wake up my older brother and be like, let's go look. So we would just stay down there. We would look at all the presents, be like, oh my gosh. And then he'd be like, I'm not going back to bed. You're not going back to bed. So he would just turn on A Christmas Story. And that was pretty much like a yearly thing. So we kind of just at this point run it most of the day. And usually we just like turn off the sound. But yeah, it plays.
that would be my mom.
Yeah.
She absolutely loves that movie.
It's so funny.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
I think mine are, so obviously I like the old ones, the old stop motion ones. They're always fantastic. Hard to find nowadays, though.
Yeah.
Like they're difficult to find
Mhm.
streaming and stuff. But newer ones, Rise of the Guardians.
Oh,
which
yeah, that's a good
is
one.
animated, came out in 2012. Fantastic movie. It's got Hugh Jackman as a bunny rabbit. He's amazing.
And then Father Christmas. He's
yeah,
like
he's some
he's
big
tough.
Russian guy.
tattooed, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's Alec Baldwin. He's great. Anyway, that movie is fantastic.
It is.
One that I got turned on to recently was Klaus. Chantel made me watch it last year, and it was, oh my God, Klaus is so good. If you haven't seen it, it's like sort of an origin story for Santa Claus.
I think I
It's
maybe
basically-
have seen that one.
The premise is that you've got this guy he's a mailman, and he gets sent to a
Oh, okay. I know.
a very
Yeah.
remote island. Yeah, a very remote island, and he has to set up a thing. And he's like
The
a
post
mail
office.
place, and he's challenged to send a certain number of letters in 1 year or something like that. I think that's what the premise is. And then there's this old, like, big man in the forest
That
who-
looks like Santa Claus.
that looks like Santa Claus
Mhm.
because there is no Santa Claus in this world. Like, it's not one. But this is how, like, the Santa Claus myth develops, right? Because the dude, well, there's some, like, magical aspects to it, but for the most part, he's just some old woodsman.
Yeah.
You know? He's
Mhm.
just some old woodsman, and this is just a mailman, and they create Santa Claus sort of accidentally over the course of several years. And
It-
it's the cutest movie I've ever seen. It's so good.
It is good. I had forgotten about that one.
That one's fantastic. And then, of course, the best Christmas movie, the Lord of the Rings extended editions,
Well, I guess in the spirit of
which I watch
Tolkien.
every Christmas. Well, I mean, if you think it's got elves in it, it's got a
That's
bearded
fair, I guess.
old guy.
Yeah.
It's got goblins, apparently. That's Christmassy,
That's
according to
fair.
now. So, I mean, it's got gifts.
It's got the
Right?
little people.
And snow.
They're not kids,
It's got
but they're
snow.
little.
There's snow in places.
It's got little people. It's got everything. I mean, that's a Christmas movie if I ever saw one.
Amazing. Amazing.
That's Ariel and Mallory's world for Minicon this coming year.
Yes, it is. I'm excited.
Well, that'll be
actually.
fun.
Yeah. Pretty
I love
excited.
the Lord of the Rings.
You'll have to come in for it.
If I get a chance to, I definitely will.
It's Star Wars too.
Yeah, we're doing Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and then
Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys can meet up with Disney's Star Wars.
Oh,
but,
you just
know.
wait. I'm going to have a giant ad.
All right, sounds great.
Oh, the Falcon picture you sent was amazing.
Yeah, actually, in one of the rides, they had like basically full scale AT-AT, and they're big.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that we could
it was very
put
cool.
Disney and Industrial Light and Magic to shame if we had a budget.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, if you had a budget.
I have no doubts.
We have to do it with cardboard and glue and, flour.
To be fair, that's basically what they did the first couple times.
I know.
Yeah.
The first Star Wars movie was very low budget.
A lot of it was like that.
We just need better cameras. We could be famous.
Exactly.
Yep, we do. Yep. We definitely could be. So do we think we're finished?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. I found another Christmas one that I'll read. I'll start it on actually December 1st, but it's called, are you ready for this? I feel like it's going to be another rom-com, like funny Hallmark movie. How the Grump Saved Christmas.
The Grump.
Oh my God.
I'm so ready. Okay.
That sounds very...
It does for sure.
rom-com-y.
And I think that one is Claire Kingsley, I think. The thing is covered up, so I'm not totally sure. But yeah, that's what's coming up for me in December. Okay. So our next episode, we are going to be doing a curiosity, our last one for the year. And you guys are doing out-of-place artifacts.
Yes.
I feel like it's going to be pretty fun. I'm excited to see.
Interesting. They're really interesting.
I'm excited to see. And then we'll have our final book chat of 2023. We have a few more tricks up our sleeves for the year, so don't fret, but we don't want to spoil the fun. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. It's time for us to sign off, but before we go, only the best libraries have librarians who don't shush you or put you on the naughty list, unless you're really being naughty to the books.